Good afternoon. Everybody hear me? Yes. Okay, this is the start, straight after the break, so I'm checking everybody's awake. So put your hand up if you're awake. Okay, most of you, that's fine. My name is Dharminder Singh, I'm the pharmacist at Keyworth Pharmacy, and I'm really pleased I was invited to talk to you today. It wasn't just because of the free buffet, I'm actually interested in the subject, so thank you. My passion really is helping people take control of their own health. We've heard that medicines can only go so far with lupus. It can help prevent the complications and the life-threatening problems that you can get with lupus, especially if it goes out of control. So, put your hand up if you'd like to take control of your own health. Okay, fantastic. So, lots of the stuff I was going to talk about was actually covered. So I'm going to make a brand new talk right now. Okay. So somebody mentioned earlier about mindfulness. Okay. Does anybody actually do mindfulness or yoga? Okay. I'm going to share with you a 15,000-year-old trick of how to switch your sympathetic nervous system off and turn your parasympathetic nervous system on. So that's the flight and fight. Yeah, we're going to calm that down. And we want to get the parasympathetic, which is the repair, rest, and growth. So, who wants to hear this? Ready? So, you breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth for longer than you breathe in through your nose. And breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. If you sit there and do that for a couple of minutes, your whole system will calm down. Okay? Now, lupus is all about inflammation and stress. So I'll share with you a few more tips on how to reduce the inflammation. My children made the presentation, so I'm not exactly sure what's on here. So it says diet for disease. Really, it's a diet for health. Okay? Although it's going to talk a lot about autoimmune disorders, it's really the diet for anybody who wants to be healthy. Okay? So, somebody about 2,000 years ago, I think his name was Hippocrates, said, let medicine be our food and food be our medicine. We're just sort of waking up to that now in the 21st century. So, prevention is always better than cure. Treating the cause of the problem is better than symptom control. So, let's talk about inflammation. Okay, why is that a problem if you've got lupus? And also, I'm going to help give you tools and knowledge, simple steps that can help you reduce your flare-ups and lupus attacks. Okay, so we're going to put you literally in the driving seat. The doctors are going to give you the medications that are going to keep you from getting life-threatening complications. But your day-to-day is what I'm going to help you with today. Okay, it's a little bit of a busy slide, but I'm going to need your guys' imagination. Okay, so optimal health. Okay, that means everything's hunky-dory. Yeah, it's all going swimmingly well. And if you imagine a healthy person, they're far away from disease. Okay, so the optimal healthy person is basically at ease. As soon as you move away from at ease, you get dis-ease. It's really super simple. There's many, many steps that occur. Now, left unchallenged, if you're starting to get disease, you'll develop inflammation, and inflammation is what we're trying to avoid. So this is the imagination part now. I want everybody to imagine a single cell in their body. Okay? So my job's really easy. I've only got to fix one cell. Okay? We're made up of trillions of cells. Okay? But it only starts with one. So this cell, imagine it as a factory. It's got ins and outs. Okay? Vitamins and minerals in, proteins out, energy out, waste out. If you affect the supply of minerals and vitamins in, do you think you'll affect the efficiency of the cell? You will. It will go down. You'll build up toxic waste, the energy of the cell will reduce, then you'll start along the path towards disease. Okay? So my job is to check, like a little flight check, what is your cell getting and what is it missing? Okay? If we can just put the things in that it needs, so a luxurious amount of vitamins and minerals and water, then hopefully you'll get the desired outcomes. The second you start interfering with that chain, you'll build toxins and less energy and move towards disease. Chronic disease causes inflammation, inflammation is when you get flare-ups. Everybody get that so far? Yeah, really super simple. Okay, so the talk is way more than diet. There are many factors that are going to make you get this inflammation. So they normally say all roads lead to Rome. This time they lead to inflammation. Stress. Fantastic talk earlier about stress. The stress would be internal stress. It could be physiological, the chemical reactions. It could be outside of the cell. It could be outside of your body, in your lifestyle, the way you are. More stress equals more inflammation equals more flare-ups. Sleep. A lot of people find it difficult to sleep. Anybody get 6 hours of sleep at least? Wow. Okay, so some of the studies, basically find that if you don't rest enough, your body will not be efficient. Okay? So everybody's left the computer on for ages and it slows down, doesn't it? Okay, that's what's happening to us if we don't get enough sleep. So not getting enough sleep is almost the equivalent of having 6 months of junk food. So just imagine if you're doing everything right with your diet and you're not sleeping enough, yeah, you're causing that inflammation. Physical activity. Today, a lot of people drive. Okay? We're not doing all these manual labour jobs that we used to do in the past. Therefore, our body, which is made up of muscles, they're starting to waste away. The efficiency is reducing. So all we need to do is do something. If you can walk, do a bit of walking. Exercise means getting sweaty a little bit. Okay? So even if you can walk a bit, it's helpful. Okay, gut health. Did anybody realise the gut has trillions of bacteria in it? Okay, probiotics. They contribute to 70% of your whole immune system. Now, lupus is an autoimmune disease. So we know something is wrong with the immune system and it is now targeting you, not the bad guys. So what we have to work out is, how can we untarget you? Okay? So a combination of the right bacteria, along with some other things I'll talk about, can try and help the body untarget you and reduce inflammation. So probiotics are very important. Somebody earlier mentioned infections. Okay? Be it a virus, be it a bacteria, ultimately the immune system has to come out to deal with infections, and the immune system works by causing inflammation. That is the normal way. So the more infections you get, the more inflammation you get, the more flare-ups you get. So when we put all this together, we have to try and make you more hardy and resistant to infections. Environmental toxins. Okay, what do we mean by this? This could be pesticides in your food. It could be fluorescent light bulbs. It could be face products that you use, shampoos. Essentially, if you can't read the name on the box, it's probably not organic. Okay? So the more organic things you have around us, the better. This includes bedding, clothing, furniture. So there's lots of environmental toxins that can lead your immune system to get overactive and cause inflammation. Sunlight. Okay. That's a particular issue, I guess, for lupus patients, because the sun causes rashes for you guys. Yeah. What we've found is that for lots of autoimmune disorders, most of those patients have chronically low vitamin D. Okay? You normally get vitamin D from the sun. So you've sort of got a catch-22. You can't get the sun to get the vitamin D, yet you need the vitamin D to help your immune system work properly. So topping up your level of vitamin D is essential. Now we'll get to what I was going to talk about, diet. Okay. Vitamins. Anybody any idea what the word actually means? It's a really simple one. It means vital minerals. These are things that you just need to be alive. Okay? Processing food actually reduces the nutritional content of your food. Okay? Today we live in a very fast-paced modern society where we go to the supermarket and the food's piled high and it's sold cheap. Do you think that is beneficial for the nutrition content or not beneficial?
No.
Okay. In the past, people used to grow their own stuff. It was far, far healthier. Organic homegrown, far better. If you can live next to a farmer, even better. Okay? Cooking can damage your nutrients. Anybody know that? Yeah, well, some people boil veg to death. It's already dead. Yeah, so you're losing out in the nutrition. Okay? Some nutrients are just really difficult to get from your diet. For example, for you guys, vitamin D, you'll struggle. One, because we live in the UK, I'm going to get lots of anyway. Two, the sun's not so good for you anyway, so you need to supplement. Magnesium is normally found in green leafy vegetables. So what I'm trying to tell you is, unless you have an organic variety, you're really grossly lacking in getting magnesium. Common symptoms of deficiency are restless legs, cramp, insomnia. Anybody get those symptoms? Yeah. And also you'll be lacking energy, you'll be fatigued. Because one of the key components of keeping that cell efficient is magnesium. Calcium normally contracting muscles, magnesium relaxers. So sitting in a back Epsom salt is really good to try and detox and relax. So, supplements fill the gaps in the nutrition. So, we've just discovered we may not be getting all the nutrition we require on the diet. Aging and disease also reduces your ability to absorb nutrients. So you might all of a sudden now have the best of the best food, but because the status of your body is finding it difficult to absorb the nutrients, it might just go straight through you. So we need to look in detail at how do we make the body ready to receive the nutrients. Okay, we had a food pyramid up earlier. I know you probably can't really see this properly, but I'm just going to go through this slowly. Okay, the bottom of the pyramid is organic vegetables. Okay, vegetables are basically superfoods. And what do we mean by that? We mean they're full of nutrients without calories. Okay. So they should be the most on your plate. And that includes healthy fats. And when I say healthy fats, I'm on about avocados, olive oil, butter, stuff that is not processed. So margarine is processed. Anything that goes into your body that is processed and inorganic will cause your body to be a bit stressed. So the more natural it is, the more easy it is for your body to recognise. The next thing, proteins. So we're on about organic grass-fed meats, wild fish. Okay? We want to reduce the number of toxins, proteins on there. Next one, fruits. We recommend that you have fruits as the whole fruit. If you juice fruits, what you get is a lot of sugar. Okay? You can juice 10 oranges and drink it in a glass, but you can't eat 10 oranges. So that's the trick. If you can only manage 2, you only need 2. The fibre in the fruit slows down the absorption of the sugars from the fruit. One thing that might be slightly controversial, or slightly different to the chart that was up before, was the amount of grains and sugars. So carbohydrates, what am I talking about? I'm talking about bread, pasta, potatoes, rice. I've already mentioned that we're not doing as much today, physically. Do we require to use many calories? Okay? When your body starts using calories from lots of carbohydrate, insulin has to come out. And insulin then causes you to store fat. If you get more of your calories from protein and fats, instead of storing fat, your body becomes a fat burning machine. Put your hand up if you want to be a fat burning machine. Okay, so you need to be careful about the amount of carbs you're taking in. Also, particularly with bread, it has a protein in there called gluten. Okay? So, has anybody heard of people having autoimmune disorders with gluten? Yeah? So, the name of the game is to not stress the body out. So, if we're having stuff like gluten, which is super strong and hard to process, you're just going to set your immune system off. Okay? The bread that used to be made, sourdough bread, we're talking hundreds and thousands of years ago, they used to prove that bread. It used to take 2 days, and the gluten used to get destroyed by bacteria and yeast. Because of the way we make bread now, industrially, the yeast is only there for a short period of time, and it's full of gluten. So you really need to be careful about the gluten content of the foods. Okay, less stress equals a more efficient body. It's really simple. Okay, vitamin D, a crucial vitamin. Really, I would class vitamin D as a hormone. And the main difference between a hormone and a vitamin is that a hormone acts as a master chemical in the body. So if you think about it as a general in the army, you've got a hormone. It's got many levels where it affects. Okay, whereas a vitamin will only do a few things. So if you want to mess about with the general, it's going to affect all those other levels, and that's why it's so essential that the vitamin D level is correct. In the past, we only were concerned about calcium and vitamin D. We've realised it's far more things now. I mean, even in the news of the day, you'll see how it can reduce asthma attacks, all number of things. So we need to get the vitamin D levels right. Vitamin D, some of the properties of it. It's anti-cancer, it's anti-inflammatory, it's immune system boosting. SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Has anybody heard of that? We call these in the pharmacy happy pills. Okay, so they make you a bit happy. If you've got aches and pains all over your body and your vitamin D levels are low, just by topping up your vitamin D, it can greatly help that. With respect to your immune system, because your body has been targeted incorrectly as the enemy, the mix of having probiotics, omega-3, vitamin D, vitamin K2 can help to let your body try and work out that you're not the enemy. So that's why these things are important, but we're lacking them greatly today. Okay, to make the vitamin D work, it requires vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is what was used to be in butter. Okay, so cows that used to eat grass, they make vitamin K2. But, you know, not that long ago, they told us butcher's bad for you, didn't they? Okay, so now we can't get the sun, now we can't get the vitamin D, and now we can't get K2. Okay, we're in a mess. Okay, so I'll take a little bit of time here. I'm only brushing the surface. I can't really go through the detail that I would like to tell you all the things that you should be doing. This is the whistle stop tour. Vitamin D3. Okay, so that's your vitamin D that's active, that works. That's very important. To make that work, vitamin K2. My aim is for you to try and do your own homework and find out where you're going to get these things in your diet. Okay? When you cannot top them up in your diet, you need to supplement. About 60 to 70% of the UK population is vitamin D deficient, the government statistics. About 50% of people in the UK are magnesium deficient. Okay? And these are things that you wouldn't want to get tested for. Probiotics, they're 70% of your immune system. Why would you want to have the right gut bacteria? It's essential. Where you're also lacking the other nutrients from the vegetables, because of the way they grow, you need to top up on the other vitamins and minerals that you might be lacking. So if you go back to that analogy of the single cell, it uses lots and lots of different ingredients. Okay? The fruit today, the veg, might be using fertilizers, so we've got NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in. You might need 20 more different things. That's why multivitamins is essential. Omega-3, very potent at being anti-inflammatory and helping with the probiotic to modulate your immune response. For people with lupus or autoimmune disorders, it's a bit overactive and it's going crazy on you. So we need to try and straighten that out. Turmeric, the latest buzzword. Anybody heard of turmeric? Very potent anti-inflammatory, many beneficial, looks like a painkiller also. It's been used in curries for thousands of years. Yeah, so it's the yellow stuff that makes the curry yellow. Anybody heard of Q10? Coenzyme Q10. It's in every single cell of your body, and think of it as a battery. Okay? After the age of 25, our body loses the ability to make it. That's when aging actually starts to happen. You can top up. If you're on a statin medication, that is blocking the action of Q10 in the body. So in other countries around the world, Australia, Ireland, if you're prescribed a statin, you'll be given Q10. It's quite costly, so in the UK they say you have to sort yourself out. Vitamin B12 is very difficult to get absorbed from your gut, so a spray is better. It's essential for your energy processors. And another latest buzzword is coconut oil. So organic cold-pressed coconut oil has great healing properties as well as anti-inflammatory properties. So you get the idea that the whole talk is about how do I reduce inflammation. Okay? That will in turn reduce flare-ups. Detoxing the liver is key because everything's going through your liver. And if you have some of the potent medicines, steroids, NSAIDs, anti-inflammatories, it's nice to give it a break. You only get one of that. Okay? Anybody heard of chlorella? Okay, that's a very potent, I think it's an algae, it's from an algae. What it does is it mops up toxins from your body, like heavy metals and mercury, the things that are these environmental toxins that will cause your body to get a bit stressed. Okay, so everything I'm saying is in that book. Okay, it's an easy read. I didn't write it, and I'm not getting any royalties off it, but I should. It's just an easy read. As it says, effortless healing. Okay, in summary. The most important thing is that you realise that with a little bit of knowledge, you can actually take control of your health, empower yourself, help your friends and family and other relatives by showing them the light, and simple things that you can do to help improve their health. Ditch the processed foods. Okay? You're not getting enough nutrients and you're getting extra toxins. Plenty of organic vegetables, quality, organic, healthy fats and protein. Exercise, briefly touched on that. Sleep. Water, a key one. Okay? Planet Earth is 2/3 water. Just by coincidence, your body is also 2/3 water. Okay? Often people won't put water in their body. And I say to my patients, right, have you had any water today? Yeah. What have you had? Tell me how many glasses you had. 6 coffees, 6 teas. And I said, when did you have water? He said, there's water in it. Okay, this is a little rule that I've made up. Okay, if you have between at least, at the minimum, depends on your medical status, but the average person, 4 to 6 tumblers of water a day. Okay? If you have another drink that is not water, class it as a -1. So if you have 6 waters and 6 teas, how many waters have you had? Oh, you need some more water. So for every tea and coffee you have an extra glass of water. In the end, you'll give up and you'll just stick to water. Okay. Right, top up on the nutrition where it's lacking. And I've given you a few clues about that. Read the book. Thank you very much.